no different than anything else that's going on in the industry with pitchers.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I know that obviously there's no season, and I feel like the longer this goes on, I think Rob Manfred needs to figure out what to do. Like maybe obviously they're going to shorten the season if they have a season. What do you expect from them? Like how many games and what kind of like 80? I would say for me, I would say 80 to 100. But just what do you expect?
Honestly, the hopeful part of my heart says 80. If there's not a season, I know that is not what people want to hear, and I get it. But I'm torn. My heart is torn between 50-50. I've heard the 80%. I mean, the 80 games and starting up in June. And so I just really feel like June to get revved up and start in July, I should say, to be corrected. I just think if you start anywhere after August, it's just really hard. I just don't know what you can do. And if you have any less than 80 games, I don't see how that can be beneficial for baseball. But right. I do love going into November and December, having the World Series go into that. And I know it'll be cold in New York and some other places, so they would have to find a neutral site, like they've been saying. I do love having the thought of having baseball in December. So fantastic. But how is that going to affect the next season if it goes late? So there's some ups and some downs. I love the idea of the baseball coming to Arizona. I love the idea because I want baseball to come back. I don't like the idea because I want everyone to be safe. And so I'm torn on that as well. I would love to see baseball happen and them be able to do it correctly. But there's so many pros and cons for them coming to Arizona. These players are going to be away from their families even longer and quarantined. So I don't love that. So there's so much up in the air. I'm hopeful for a July start. And I'm not saying July as in spring training start. The spring training would start mid-June, and then we would start really gearing up in July. I'm hopeful for that.
So you think that they're going to finish all spring training before they have the regular season?
They're going to have to, because they have to get revved up again. And whether that's they do them in where their big league stadiums are, like in LA, they'll do it in LA, San Francisco, Padres, they'll do it in San Diego. They'll have their spring training there. Or if they're like the rumors have been that maybe they'll come back to Arizona and, Florida and start revving up again. I'm not sure that would happen. I really am leaning towards the other rumor that they would happen in the state and the place of where they actually play the big league stadiums are. So there would have to be a spring training. They can't just start back up again. It's too hard on the body, and the pitchers especially, they need a little bit longer to get revved up.
Yeah, so speaking of Arizona, are you from Arizona?
Yeah, I'm born and raised.
Mm-hmm. So you covered the Diamondbacks before?
I have covered the Diamondbacks. Yeah.
So, what was now they have a lot of expectations now since they have Madison Bumgarner, and they're a pretty good team, I feel like. So what do you think of their team this year?
I think it's strong. I think that they are in a very hard division. I think the NL West is really tough. I mean, they have to go up against, the Dodgers, which they're the kings of it the last however many years. So the Padres have to step up this year and really show. I mean, they've been the number one farm system the last 2 or 3 years. So sooner or later, the Padres really have to step up and show that they mean business. So the Diamondbacks have their work cut out for them, but I love what Hazen has done. He's really turned this team around. He's really done a fantastic job. It's one of my favorite clubhouses to be in. These guys are so hardworking, but they're so down to earth. They get it, and they're great with media. So I really do love that. It's just a great organization from top to bottom. I expect big things from them, but I also am realistic that they're in the NL West.
Yeah, so and then there's another team that's interesting is the Dodgers and the NL West. They're making big splashes as always. But the concern is that we might not even see Mookie Betts. I mean, you might see Mookie Betts in a uniform, but he's a free agent after the year, so he can leave. So were you concerned? I mean, Do you think the Dodgers gave up too much for that type of trade?
No, because he would have been available regardless. So, I mean, it was just a rental. And so I'm not too concerned with how much they gave up. But there also correct me if I'm wrong, but if there is no season, he would stay with the Dodgers one more, like next year. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, if I read wrong on.
Oh, wait. No, I think he can leave, though. Yeah, I think because he's a free agent, so this will consider him a free agent still. So I think he can leave without playing with the Dodgers.
There's no season. That was, I guess, the article I was reading was like, does that mean he can leave or not? I'll have to fact check on that. But as for, I mean, he was just a rental as it is, so I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it sucks that we won't be able to see him in Dodger blue and the fans and all that. But it was going to be weird seeing him in Dodger blue anyways. So, do you hate the Red Sox?
I hate the Red Sox. I'm a big Yankee fan, like your father. So I bleed Yankees blue. So
yeah, yes.
Right. Yeah. So who's your favorite team? Who was your favorite team growing up?
I didn't have a favorite team. Roy Halladay is and will be forever my favorite.
Yeah.
I love his grit. I love that he had to go back to the minors and relearn everything. He humbled himself and came back and he was better than ever. I love his story. If anyone gets time especially we have all the time in the world right now, go back and read Roy Halladay's story. He was everything to me growing up. He was my favorite.
Yeah, so rest in peace, but that was a devastating when he passed away. But I think he's going to be he's one of the best. In my opinion, how to explain Roy Halladay is that he even without he wasn't overpowering. His craft was like every time I watched him pitch, especially against the Yankees, we did horrible against him. So like Roy Halladay he knew how to pitch. He knows his craft, and plus he's a family person, and I just feel so. And plus his son, he's going to follow him in his footsteps. Braden Halladay, I've seen video of him. He's pretty good actually as a pitcher. He needs to like grow a little bit more, obviously, but I think he's going to follow into his father's footsteps, and I like that kind of stories where the sons follow into the father's footsteps. So I think the Halladay family is represented well. So to my next question, do you see, if you have a season, do you see them playing without fans?
If they make it come back in May, June, yes. Later than that, like I was saying, July, I think fans, man, that's a tough question. I think maybe, my intuition's kind of going with, no fans first until we see how things play out. I read somewhere that this is going to change sports forever and that fans are never going to be at sporting events again because they're not going to want to. And I don't think that's right. I think fans are crying and dying to go to games. I know I am. I'm sitting here crying some days like, I just want to go to the game. So I think that the part of me, my heart just dies to go to I want to go to a game so bad right now. So I think that rumor that, after this, no games are going to have fans, I don't think that's true. But I think for health reasons, yes, at first, no fans. And then after that, yes.
Okay. Can you see your screen is a little blurry. Can you see me?
I can see you.
Okay. I think your screen is a little bit blurry, I think.
Let's see. I don't want to get off because I don't want it to kick me off.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Actually, I think that's fine. I think, this is better.
Better?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
I might have Apple Wi-Fi. I can check, but I don't want, if I check, will it kick me off the talk?
Wait, when you check on your phone?
Yeah.
Oh, you can just, no, I think.
Is it still fuzzy?
Yeah, a little fuzzy. Okay, we can roll it. Yeah, this is fine. All right. Sorry, so I think that,
the dang Wi-Fi.
Yeah, that's all right. I can still see you. There we go. Yep. Okay. So so my next question, who was your role model growing up going into the sports industry?
I really there was a lot. I honestly don't, the names just went through all my head. I don't have a specific one. It was when I started working for the LA Kings that Heidi. Oh my gosh, I was gonna say Heidi Watney. Heidi Watney. I love
Heidi too. She's amazing.
I love Heidi, and she has become my role model now. 100%. That is someone I look up to and I'm so close to. And if I'm down and sad or anything like that, she picks me back up. So she's my role model now.
Mm-hmm.
Before it was Heidi something. She works for Fox Sports. Heidi. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm forgetting.
Oh wait. Is it?
She covered the LA Kings. Okay, but it doesn't matter. But I'll write you after. And I was working for the Kings, and I would see her every day, and her work ethic, and how well she. A Rizzo that I'm so much, and they've just taken me under their wing, and I could not be more grateful for them. Hey, I worked for the Ducks. Yeah,
this thing is.
Hi.
This don't have to log you off real quick and come back on because I feel like this is like lagging here.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Let me. There we go.
Is that better?
Yeah, I think it's my Wi-Fi too. Everybody's Wi-Fi's going crazy.
Mine has been lately really bad. So I'm on Wi-Fi now. It might kick me off. It keeps kicking me off during the day. It's weird.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I because we had a really bad storm here, like a windstorm. So I think it's affecting that one too. So, but it's better now. I can see you clear. So, yeah. So I guess who's that?
My dog.
Oh, nice. So you left off. We left off your role model, right? I think.
Yeah. So, Heidi Androl is the first one. That is okay. So when I worked for the LA Kings and I worked for the Ducks, I know there's someone said "Boo Kings." I did. I was an arena host. I arena hosted for the Anaheim Ducks, and I love them too. But Heidi Androl was who I really first saw, and I was like, ooh, I want to be like her. And then with MLB Network, the girls have just all taken me under their wing. Alana, when she worked there, and of course, still now, not even though she's with Sportsnet LA.
Is it Alana Rizzo? Alana Rizzo?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Alana Rizzo.
Yeah, she does a great job too.
Fantastic. She's so professional. She's just so good at what she does in storytelling and even in English or Spanish. She's just so good. Great person, great heart, always wants to give and support. And when I was Miss California, she helped and supported me a lot with, because it's really expensive to do. And I had a lot of GoFundMes, and Alana was always supporting and loving. And so that was awesome of her. Heidi Andrel I was struggling 2 years ago during spring training. I was really sad and really down. And I reached out to her and I said, would you meet me for a couple of minutes? And we ended up talking for 2 hours at the coffee shop, and she gave me lots of good advice. So, and Lauren Chahadi is always texting and, hey, great job, this and this. They're just awesome. And I've never worked for a company that supports women so well and so much, and they definitely do there. From my boss all the way down, all of them, they've been great. So, but those are my 3 role models right now that I just love.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I can see the comment, GT Sports Talk. Yeah, I can see the comment. What's up, GT Sports
Talk?
What's up? Yeah, so my next question is, what's it like to work for the MLB Network? And did they call you to join, or you just you had the opportunity to join yourself?
So I've been with MLB Network since 2001. I love Jody Jackson. Sorry, just going to reply to that. I love Jody Jackson. Awesome. She's so great. Super professional. I've been with MLB Network since 2011, and I started as a production assistant / runner. And so I really started at the low totem pole, like very, very bottom. I always was honest with what I wanted from them. I always wanted to be on air. I wanted to be on air. And I think 2 or 3 years ago, the opportunity came. One of my bosses from MLB.com said, hey, we need someone to cover the youth development and draft PDP stuff. We have an opening, and I threw your name in. And so that was how that got started. And then my contract with MLB.com got dissolved, and MLB Network took over it because MLB.com is now under MLB Network. So that's how that all happened. And it is fantastic. My boss, my youth boss is so great. He is so supportive, so hands-on, so loving. It's just really been a dream come true. It's something I always wanted, and I really did start at the bottom. For the first 5 or 6 years, I was traveling myself doing to the All-Star Game and the World Series and World Baseball Classic. I was traveling myself out of my own pocket to be their runner or PA so that I could prove to them, listen, I really want this. I'm really loyal, and let's get to know each other, and you can see my work ethic. So that's how I started.
Interesting. So my friend just joined here from GT Sports Talk. He wants to be, what advice would you give him he wants to pursue a career in the baseball industry. What advice would you give him?
Be persistent, but also be patient. Let your patience be productive. So when I didn't have a job for a long time, I was going out and do you want to be a writer or on camera? Because it'll be a little different how I give my advice. But for on camera, I was going around town shooting stand-ups and interviews on my own for free by myself, just to build a reel. And then I literally would Google the president of either teams or producers or whatever. I would find the head of the company, and then I would email him, hey, I'm Sandy Charles. I am a reporter in town. Here's my reel. And I just would go and do. And I never let it stop me that I reached out to the president of our in-arena football team here. You don't know. You're the president of the team, but I'd love to be your reporter. He was like, okay, I have a job for you. So just start relationships like that and just don't give up. Be persistent, professional when you're persistent. Don't nag them or anything. Be patient because it's a patience game. But in your patience, be productive. What are you doing in that downtime to get better? And how are you making relationships? Continue to make relationships. Even if it's just, hey, how are you? Here's my reel, just checking in. Do that every 2 or 3 months and stay on top of them.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think your screen is lagging again.
No.
Oh man.
Around town for free and just shoot and start to build. So definitely find somebody to maybe help you do that, or do it on your own. I have all my own equipment now that I can do it on my own, but start building your reel, whether that's on camera or you're writing. Even if you don't have an outlet to write for, start writing. And so that when people ask, you can submit that. So for me, I was going around shooting all my video, and then I would Google and find out who's the president of the team that I want to work for. And I would email the president and say, hey, I am Sandy Charles. I'm a reporter in town. I'd love to be your reporter. Here's my reel. And 95, maybe 98% of the time they got back to me. And a couple times they didn't. Most said, love it. When we have an opening, we'll hire you. I sent one to the president of the arena football team here in Arizona. And he said, actually, I'm looking for a social media reporter. Can you do it? So he didn't know me, and I didn't lose anything by reaching out to him. He doesn't, you know what I mean? I think a lot of people are scared to, oh, he's busy, he's the president. Well, he had to start somewhere too. We all did. So I say just start building your reel or your portfolio for writing, because I don't know if you wanted to do camera or copy. I didn't know what you wanted. Be persistent, but in your persistence, don't nag. And be patient, but in your patience, be productive. So every day, work on what you need to be working on. So even if you don't have a job, read everything you can, soak it all up, be patient. But what are the small steps will equal the big one down the line, you know? So keep making the small steps. It's like a little snowball that one day is a huge boulder.
He just said that he actually has some work articles and videos that he can send you too.
Yeah, definitely. I'd be happy to look it over in the videos and everything. Definitely don't just send to me too. Send to who's that producer that you want to work for? Who's that outlet? What team do you want to cover? You know, send it to their PR. Send it to whomever you can. Hey, and I always would say, could you please point me in the right direction? So that then they could point me in the right direction. If it wasn't the PR guy, okay, who then? Who's your media relations? So just open those doors, just introduce yourself, and then every few months, hey, here's my updated portfolio. Hey, here's my updated reel. So that's really what I would do the last 7 or 8 years.
Interesting. Yeah, so well said. So everyone go follow her, Sandy Charles. She's the best. You're the best.
Trying to help. We're all in this together.
Yeah. So, oh, that's a cute dog. What kind of dog is that?
She is a Frenchie and pit bull mix. We rescued her last year. She's such a sweetie. She's so cute.
So before I let you go, this has been fun. So I have a few quick hit questions for you. Favorite music?
I listen to Christian music all day, every day. I just put on some, especially right now in this really scary time, some elevation worship, and I sing and dance around the house. Christian and elevation worship.
Oh, nice. Oh, actually, we have another question for you here. From my same friend here. So let's see. Where can you see that question? Where is that question?
Hillsong.
Oh,
yeah.
He said,
shout out to Hillsong. Woo-hoo.
Yeah, he said, how can he send it, I think, the work? He said, what's the best way to send it?
To me or to to everyone, to email. So you can Google right now, Google president of, at the time I sent it to Rattlers, president of Arizona Rattlers, and it came right up. You can find everyone's email on the internet, and just send it to them in an email. For me, you can email me. My email's attached to my Instagram account.
Yeah, so, and then back to your quick questions. Favorite food?
Pizza.
What was it?
Pizza. I love pizza.
Oh, pizza.
Pizza and French fries, those are my go-to.
Favorite thing to do outside of sports?
That's a good one. I'm such a workaholic. It really takes a lot for me to stop and not work. I think being healthy and working out is definitely something that I absolutely love. So I would have to say that. I don't love going to the gym. I hate going to the gym, but I love feeling healthy. So I'm not working, I'm at the gym, or I'm home reading, or I'm watching. Ooh, has anyone watched Schitt's Creek? The new that show.
I've seen it.
So good. I'm binge watching it right now, and it's so good.
Yes, that movie, that show is like crazy.
So crazy. Yes, yeah. I'm really passionate about animals and being an animal activist. And so I'm definitely really, if I'm not reading on sports, I'm reading on how can I help animals. That's definitely one of the things I do all day long.
So have you, speaking of, what do you call animals, do you know Anita Marks from ESPN?
I can't picture her, but I know the name.
Yeah, she has covered, she loves animals too. She has covered some pretty cool dog competitions on ESPN dog shows. Have you considered doing that? Like,
I would a heartbeat. Yeah. They would say, we're paying you $5, and I would say, I don't care. I will be there.
Favorite sports movie?
For Love of the Game is one of them that I can watch over and over and over. Bull Durham 2 is another one. What did I just watch that I was like, ooh, why did I watch that? I didn't like it. But those are my two favorites that I could watch over and over, Bull Durham and For Love of the Game.
Okay, yeah. It's this thing, okay. It keeps lagging, but it's okay. Favorite.
Welcome to Quarantine Edition, working from home.
We're trying to get this working, people. Sorry, guys. Sorry to all the viewers here.
Is that better at all?
Oh, that's better. Yeah, perfect.
Okay, good. You can hear my crazy dog.
Oh, is that a parking garage? Huh?
I ordered Postmates because I haven't eaten yet, and so it's supposed to be delivered soon. So I'm out waiting for it.
Yeah. So let's see. Okay, so you gave advice to my friend, but what advice would you give to these young, like the young sports media people, like a 13-year-old who's trying to be like you, or for like me or anybody else?
13's really young, and I love that they know what they want to do, so that's fantastic. Well, when in high school, do all the video and I'm going to walk away from my dog. Do all the video stuff that you can do. I know that they have high school classes. And then once you're in college, do all the internships you can. Internships is where you make your. When you're in high school, take all the media classes that you can. I know my high school offered a media class. And then once you're out of high school, there's college, which I'm sure maybe you're doing journalism, maybe you're not. Even if you're not doing journalism, that's fine. You can still do internships in TV, so make sure to do that. Internships are where your networking and everything comes from. So definitely do that. That's really important. And don't give up. Do not give up, you guys. This is a hard industry. It is not easy. It takes a lot of perseverance. It takes a lot of sacrifices. So just keep going. Do not give up. Don't listen to that little negative voice in your head that says you're never going to make it, because you will make it. I promise. Just keep going and, and fighting and knocking down doors.
So here's so I keep telling my friend who just asked you all these questions. I keep telling him that he's going to be the next Ken Rosenthal. So my next question here: what's it like working with Ken Rosenthal, one of the best MLB insiders, in my opinion?
He is so fantastic, and he's so nice, and he's so professional, and he's always the same. Do you know what I mean? Like, you see some people that they change day to day, and that's with Ken. He's just Ken. He's always nice. He's always humble. He's always down, just on his phone, down, because he's always working.
Yeah.
And he treats everyone with respect, and that just speaks volumes to his true character of how great he is and why he is where he's at.
So for me, I always compare him to Adam Schefter from the NFL.
Yeah, definitely.
So who's your favorite let's say who do you listen to hip hop usually sometimes?
I don't, but hi, my Postmates here.
Oh, okay.
I don't listen to hip hop. Thank you so. Thank you. I don't listen to hip hop. But what's the question? I want to see if I can answer it.
Look at this. During a live interview, picking up the food.
I haven't eaten today. I'm hungry.
Oh, you really? Oh, so my question is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my question is like, who? If you don't, I mean, who's your favorite hip hop artist? If you listen to hip hop.
If I listen, I mean, Drake's the only one I really know. I don't know. Is Bieber a hip hop? Some of the Bieber stuff I listen to.
Yeah.
But I would not say hip hop is not my best. My phone is on 10, so I'm gonna get my charger. Hip hop is Drake I like, and Lecrae. He's a Christian hip hop artist.
Oh, okay.
So
my favorites are Drake, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, Tory Lane.
I know all those names. I just don't know them.
Yeah. So have you covered winter? How many winter meetings have you covered throughout your career?
2011 to now. So how many is that?
Okay. So that's like 9.
Yeah. Yeah, 9. Yeah, because we're in 2020. Man, 2020 is not my favorite year. That's for sure.
Me neither. Same here. It's not. I feel like first, like with the Kobe situation, and I feel like with that was devastating. So I know. Obviously, you watch other sports too, right? Obviously, since being.
I want to be what?
No, you watch other sports also?
Yeah, I cover football as well. I cover football here in Arizona. I used to work in hockey, and I really love hockey. And then one of the sites out here that I work for, Sports 360 AZ, we cover every sport, all the Arizona sports. So yeah, definitely other sports.
Yeah. So before I have 2 things for you, but before this, I just want to get your take on like the legacy of Kobe Bryant, and what do you think of him as a player and a family person? And he obviously he was one of my role models growing up. So I just want to get everyone's take on his legacy, get a different perspective.
He was mine because growing up in Arizona, I idolized everything in LA, and so Lakers were my team. And when I graduated college, the very next day I moved to LA. That's all I wanted to do was live in LA. And my first ever jersey that I bought was a Kobe jersey. And I can't remember what year this was now. It's so long ago, but they were in the playoffs and I couldn't afford tickets. So I got the nosebleed ones up in the very high rafters of Staples Center and wore my jersey. And I went and I had so much fun. And all I wanted to do was see Kobe. Especially the last few years, the way he changed and who he was and what he was doing for women, not just sports, but for women was incredible. It really hurt. That was a tough day. I remember where I was that day. I remember who I was around that day in January. It's a tough loss. I honestly didn't believe it for a while. Like I was like, this isn't real. This is a joke. Mm-hmm. And I don't know who would ever joke about that. That's crazy. So it was tough. He left a huge hole in sports, and now it's our turn to pick up where he left off. And that's kind of what I've been thinking about. And I take Mamba mentality into everything that I do. His trainer wrote a book called Relentless, and I started reading it after the passing of Kobe, and it's incredible. And I want that type of mindset in my mind I want to live like Kobe did. I want Mamba mentality, no matter if I'm doing this interview or if I'm cleaning my house or if I'm on air. So that's something that I've taken with me. And I think all of us carry a little Kobe in us. We grew up with him, you know, and Michael Jordan was them before and he was ours.
Yeah. Speaking of Mamba mentality, every time I post like my workout videos, I put Mamba mentality right next to it because Mamba mentality means a lot to me, and obviously everyone around the world. So you got to keep that going, keep it going for the Bryant family. One last thing here, would you like to say anything to the frontline people that's trying to help us during this tough situation with the medical personnel?
Yeah, I mean, we as a family put money together a couple of days ago and delivered a bunch of food to the hospital down the street, and it is it's incredible what they're having to deal with right now. And so my heart and prayers go out to them, and just thank you for fighting so hard for us and keeping us safe because they're risking their lives every single day. Yeah. And so just thank you, and all my friends that work in healthcare industry that are doctors, nurses, PAs, whatever it may be, just thank you. We appreciate you and can't wait to celebrate you and everything that you guys are doing once all this is over.
Yeah. So I just want to say thank you for coming on. Sorry for the this Wi-Fi problems, but we got through this interview. And everyone go follow Sande Charles. She on Twitter, Instagram, everywhere. She does a great job with the MLB Network, and I'm just honored to have her on today. And enjoy your day. Stay safe, and we'll talk again.
Yes, thank you for having me on. Everyone stay safe. Love you all.
See ya.
Bye.